Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be showing you how to make a granny square skirt. I'm using 8-ply acrylic yarn and a 4mm hook. So to start off with, I'm grabbing my color green. I'm going to make a slip knot. I'm going to chain up 4. And I'm going to attach to the 4th stitch from the hook with a slip knot. And then I'm going to chain up 3. And that counts as my first double crochet of the round. So I'm going to wrap the yarn around the hook, insert into the middle of the circle that we created, pull the yarn through, wrap my yarn around the hook, pull the yarn through 2, wrap my yarn around the hook, and pull through the last 2 stitches. And that is our second double crochet. I'll do one more. And that now we have a cluster of 3. I'm going to chain 2 for the corner and place another 3 double crochet into the circle. Chain 2 and repeat that process 2 more times, so we have a total of 4 clusters of 3 double crochets and 4 corners. So I've reached the end and I'm going to join with a slip stitch. And tie and cut my yarn. So of my 4 sets of 3 double crochet and my 4 corners. So I'm going to attach my black yarn, and I'm just going to be alternating between these 2 colors, but you can do a solid 1 color granny square if you'd prefer. So I'm going to chain up 3, place another 2 double crochet, chain 2, and I'm placing another 3 double crochet in this same corner. Moving on to my next corner, placing 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. And as I crochet along, I'm just crocheting over the yarn threads so I don't have to weave them in the end. And that is another 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. I'm just going to repeat that in the next 2 corners. So I finished round 2 and I attached with a slip stitch to the top of the chain 3 from the beginning of the round. And again, grabbing my green again, chaining 3, placing 2 double crochets in this chain space, and then moving on to my corner, placing 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. Again, going into the middle of the square, placing 3 double crochet in that space. And you'll be repeating that process all the way around and continue doing this same pattern, 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet in the corners, and one set of 3 double crochets in each of the spaces between the corners, and you'll be doing that for a total of 6 rows for your first square. And just reiterating that, you'll be doing that only for your first square, all 6 rows. So that is my completed square, and we're going to be doing a total of 4 squares, and this will be for the top of our waistband area. I forgot to mention at the beginning that this is for a size small, but to increase the sizes, you can either increase the amount of rows you do for the granny squares, or you can do for a size medium to large 3 granny squares each side of the dress instead of 2. So for this, we're going to have a total of 4 granny squares, 2 for the front and 2 for the back. And I'm going to be doing a join as I go method. So to do that, for your next 3 squares, crochet the 5 rows, leaving the 6th row. And for example, I have this square with my 5 rows of granny square, and now I'm going to attach my yarn. I'm going to do it in the space before the corner, just so it's quicker to show. So I'm attaching my black yarn, chaining up 3, placing 2 double crochet in that same space, and then I'm going to place 3 double crochet in the corner, and then I'm only going to chain up 1. And then grabbing my second square, I'm going to insert my hook, so have the right side facing outwards and the wrong side facing towards you. Going to insert my hook into the corner, grab the yarn, pull it through, and then pull it through that chain 1. So you're basically doing a slip stitch. And then, just to show that again, so I have my chain 1, and then I'm grabbing my first square, inserting from the front through to the back, grabbing my yarn, wrapping it around the hook, pulling it to the front of the square, and then pulling through the loop on our hook, creating a slip stitch. And then I'm going to place 3 double crochet back into this same corner, and then grabbing my completed square, inserting my hook into the next chain space down from the corner, pulling my yarn through, and then pulling through the loop on the hook, and then going to the next chain space on the green square and placing 3 double crochet. Going to my black square and so just so that there's like a visual, we are now onto the 3rd space here. Inserting our hook from the front through to the back, wrapping the yarn around the hook, pulling it through to the front, and then pulling it through the loop on our hook. And then on the green square in the next space, placing 3 double crochet. And you'll be doing that all the way down to the end. Hopefully that has made sense, but you can see it's joining the 2 squares together. Okay, I'm just going to show you this because this used to confuse me when I first started. So I've now reached to the corner of my second granny square, but on this side there's still 2 spaces. But don't worry, it all lines up. So insert into the front, through to the back, pull the yarn through and through on the loop on the hook, and then place 3 double crochet in your corner. And then going from through the front, through to the back, pulling the yarn through and through on the loop on the hook, and then chaining 1, and then completing the corner by doing 3 double crochet. And then you'll just be completing the square like normal, doing 3 double crochet all along. And you'll be doing this for the next square as well. And then for the final square, once I reach the corner, I'll just show you. When you're doing the 4th square, we're going to be joining all the square, going to be joining this side to the first square, completing that same method that I just showed you as the join as we go method, down the sides, so then you're completing a full circle. Hopefully that makes sense, but I will show you when I'm onto that square. Just keep repeating that process for your squares. So I've now on my final square, and I've done the join along method on one side, and I've worked along the top, and now I'm onto the second side. And I've done my 3 double crochet and chain 1 in the corner. Now I'm going to flip over my work and then grab the square from the first square on the other side and bring it in. And then I'm going to do the join as I go method along this side. So inserting my hook, grabbing the yarn, pulling it through the hoop, and then placing another 3 double crochet in this corner, and then basically repeating the join as I go method all the way down this side so that it forms a completed waistband. So I completed my square, and now I have the waistband joined together, and I'm going to grab my green color again. I'm just going to join to the corner of one of the squares, I'm going to chain up 3, place 2 double crochet into that same space, and I'm just going to be placing 3 double crochet in each space all the way around. So I joined up with a slip stitch in the top of the chain 3, and now I'm going to chain up 3, and I'm going to place 3 double crochet in the next space, so I have the chain 3 on its own and 3 double crochet in the next space, and I'm going to be placing 3 double crochet in the next 5 spaces, and then in the 6th space on the corner here, I'm going to be doing an increase. So I now am up to the 6th chain space, going to place 3 double crochet, and I'm going to chain 1 and place another 3 double crochet in that same space. So that is my increase, and I'm going to be placing 3 single crochets in each of the spaces until I reach this space above the join of the 2 squares. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I'll be crocheting 3 double crochets in each of the 13 spaces, and then doing a increase in the 14th space. So I've reached my increase space, which is the space above the join. So I'm placing 3 double crochet, chaining 1, and 3 double crochet. And as you can see, we are increasing on the sides to make allowance for our hips. So yeah, just do it on the sides to, if you're making bigger squares, just where the side points will be of your skirt. And then just placing 3 double crochets in each of the spaces until you reach the last space where the 3 double crochets, chain 3 is coming out of. So I'm now at the last space where the chain 3 is coming out of. I'm placing 2 double crochet and slip stitching to the top of the chain 3. And then I'm chaining up 3, then placing 2 double crochet in the next space. And this row is going to be just a normal row with no increases, and we're going to be alternating between increase row and normal row until you've increased the desired amount of your hip shape. I'll let you know how many that is for me, but you'll just keep increasing above where you previously increased. So I ended up doing 10 rows of alternating between a normal row and increase row, so that's 5 normal rows and 5 increase rows. So now I think I've increased enough to accommodate my hips. So now I'm just going to be continuing by doing just normal rows until I have my desired length. I'll let you know how many rows I end up doing, but yeah, just however long you want the skirt to be. So I did 19 rows of just normal granny square stitching, and I now have pretty much completed skirt, but I'm just going to be doing one more thing. Grabbing my green yarn, and I'm just going to be making a waistband just to cinch in the top of the skirt a bit more, but it will be like a ribbed waistband, so it will be stretchy. I'm going to start off by doing a row of just single crochets. So I attach my yarn, chain up one, and placed a single crochet, and inserting my hook into the next stitch, pulling the yarn through, wrapping the yarn around the hook, and pulling through both loops. Just placing one single crochet in each stitch. So I have finished my row of single crochets, and I just joined with a slip stitch to the first single crochet of the round. And now this is something that I learnt recently, and I think it's really cool. So this is like adding ribbing to something after you make it. So I'm chaining up 7. And then I'm placing a single crochet in each stitch back down. And then I am placing a slip stitch in the next stitch, and then another slip stitch into the following stitch. So placing slip stitches in the next 2 stitches. And we're flipping over our work, and we're going to be working in the back loops only. So when you hold out your crochet, you have these V-shaped stitches. We're going to be working in the back loop. So just placing one single crochet in the next 6 stitches. Chain up 1, flip your work, place single crochet in the back loops of the next 6 stitches, and this is creating a ribbed effect, which will cinch in the top of our skirt. And then slip stitching in the next 2 stitches. Flipping our work, and then working in the back loops all the way back up again. And you'll just be repeating this process all the way around the skirt. So I've reached the end, and I'm just putting the 2 front sides of the ribbing together so that the wrong side is facing outwards. And I'm just going to be placing one single crochet in each loop. So going through the front part, then going through the back, pulling the yarn through, placing a single crochet. I'm just doing that in each stitch all the way down to the end. And I chain up and just cutting my yarn, pulling and making a knot. And that is the completed skirt. If you enjoyed this tutorial, leave a like and please subscribe. And if you have any suggestions for future videos, please just leave a comment down below. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'd love to see what you create out of it.